Cold ass.
Nice. Great way to start that.
Well, I was still doing the little circle thingy.
Was it still doing that when you said that?
I don't know. It may have been there at the end. But anyways, okay.
That's fine. So it says that we should be going live here. Like, I don't get any notification.
Refresh it. You might have to go to our actual page. Anyways, so today we wanted to come on and just talk about life. I'm sorry, this concrete is really cold. And what we're doing business-wise and community, what we're doing, and all that kind of good stuff. So today is just going to be kind of a ramble session, and hopefully we'll get people on who want to ask questions about what we do and who we are and that kind of thing. So any point you want to start at?
I'm Daniel. That's Kaushaun. Like the Kaushaun sign.
Yes.
I hope everybody can hear us. I mean, I don't know about the distance on the phone here.
I don't know. If you can't hear us, can you please let us know? I'm going to see if I can share us to other pages and also see if I can get comments.
Because we have 3 pages. We have our own personal page. It's more of our family life. That's Kaushaun Daniel Klumpe at Facebook. And then we have our business page, which is
Klumpe and Company, which is kind of a tongue twister there, Greater Lafayette.
And then we have our 3rd page, which is kind of a new page. It's a Otterbein page for us, the town of Otterbein and surrounding area here. We're focusing more on what we're doing, why we're doing it, and we're trying to get a little bit of traction into people knowing who we are and what we do. It has been brought up to us that since our hands are in a lot of different pots, that there's a little bit of a confusion about what we are actually doing in Otterbein and what we plan to do in the future. So as most people know, that we just opened up our headquarters in downtown Otterbein at 110 South Main Street. It is where from 8:30 to 3 o'clock, somebody will always be there more or less. And you can stop in and ask us any type of questions you have. But we relate more to business as in real estate in general. We dabble in just about anything real estate wise. And then the community page is more focused on what Otterbein is doing and any concerns that are in the town's members' minds. I am currently running for the town of Otterbein's, what do you call those?
Town council.
Town council people. I'm running whatever that is. Unopposed. And so I will be on starting January 1st. So if you have any questions or concerns that's happening around town, feel free to reach out on our Otterbein page, and I can at least address it, maybe strict to you if I already know the answer. But if I don't know the answer, then I will bring it up to the town and see if there's a reason that it's not happening, if it's something that you see should be happening around town, or if there's a major issue with stormwater. I know that's on a lot of people's minds. It's on my mind too. My house floods almost every single time we get any rain. So I know that's going to be another point to bring up on that Facebook page.
Thank you, Karina.
All right, good. So I'm leaning over, so hopefully that's better. We need to get microphones.
Yep. I think it's a point now that we can also tell people that you do go to the town council meetings now.
So I have been for the last year.
Yes.
So I know kind of what's been happening for the last year. Granted, a lot of the focus has been on that new
Community Center.
Otterbein Community Center. That's been a lot of focus on the town council, which they had a timeline they had to stick to.
I guess my point with that was that, like, even if now people have concerns, you go into every meeting, so you can address concerns now too, not just starting next
January
year
1st.
when you're actually on the board. But I guess, I mean, a lot of people know from our Facebook page, just based off of what I post picture-wise, that we do flips around town too. So we're actually sitting in front of our newest one that we're currently demoing. So you may know a few or have seen us working on a couple. A lot of people ask if we do flips other places, and right now the answer is no. We're focusing pretty much right in Otterbein. We don't have any plans as of right now to go searching for houses outside of town.
There's enough here to keep us busy.
There's enough here to keep us busy.
We
that's
have
for sure. 2
flip houses right now that we're currently working on. This guy is already sold to a lovely family of 6. It's a far long ways from being done, but it is already sold. This is actually our first trial to sell to somebody directly, with they have input upon design and what they want in the house. A little more, I guess, Chip and Joe style.
A little bit. We're making our way there.
We're making our way there. But we're trying to style this one more to what they want and their wants and needs. Like I said, this is our first one. We're kind of working through the kinks of it. With any type of thing like this, there's a lot you have to work through. Other than that, though, we are doing a lot of flips around town. I know, my heart is to do some new builds here coming next year.
Yep, we've had that question too a lot.
We have had that question here, and it will stay more local, hopefully. We're really staying in Otterbein. We got plans for this town. We have big plans for this town.
We're gonna put Otterbein on the map.
We're gonna put Otterbein on the map.
Or at least try to.
So the first
our little small town
phase of this plan is start bringing up the residential areas. So we know that includes taking all these houses that have been foreclosed on and just run down. Maybe people just can't take care of them anymore. Phase 1 is to buy those up, help people out if they have a certain situation, get people into them, start bringing up the population. I have heard that the elementary school has had a decline in enrollment. So hopefully by us sticking around that we can invite more younger families in. I mean, we're only 10 minutes outside of West Lafayette. So hopefully we can bring in more people and help the school stay here. There was rumors being spread that if they can't get the enrollment up, possibly they could shut it down and go to, I think the other elementary school was Summit Creek, right?
The one that's right by the high school.
Yeah, the one right by the high school. So I don't want to see that happen. My kids go to the elementary school. I'd like to try to keep the younger population here if possible. So that's phase 1. Phase 2, we hope to start luring more businesses into downtown area. We really want to see the downtown get brought up. Obviously, we just had the new community center open up, which from last meeting at the town council, they will start renting out those rooms. There's 2 community rooms in there. They're working on the contracts right now, though, to make it all legal. And from what I heard, if you're an Otterbein resident, you can get those rooms for basically free to use. Surrounding area, I think there'll be a small fee. So we have that new building. We have our building that we just opened up down there.
And I don't know if you've noticed, driving down Main Street, we did get lights up between us and the Night Owl now.
Yep.
So hopefully Cindy's idea of getting some family seating out there during the summertime, or a beer garden going or something, can finally come to fruition.
Yep. We kind of tried to help that along. We kind of paired with her with our open house. Come in, talk to us, and get a free beer over there at the Night Owl. Those of you that did come, thank you for coming to that. So, I have a feeling next summer we're going to try to get some more community-wide events going on in downtown. I know the Street Festival was canceled this year, and then the Mini Festival was canceled, which is a big bummer due to this whole coronavirus stuff. Hopefully some of this will calm down for next summer, get through this next school year. So I know that's kind of on the horizon that we're looking at, and I think Kaushaun's going to be working a little more with the town on those type of community events.
Which brings me to saying that if you have ideas or things that you want to see in or around town, like activity-wise, feel free to message me. and we'll see what we can make happen.
So that's kind of the phase 1 and phase 2 of what's going on. Phase 3 I'll unravel a little bit later. It's a bigger plan. So that's kind of the community outreach. So again, if you haven't gone or liked the community page, please do.
Otterbein with the Klumpes.
Otterbein with the Klumpes. So on the business side, you've heard us talk about the flip properties. You've heard us talking about getting into new builds next year. Maybe even sooner than that if we can work it up. I doubt it. I mean, we're already in close to November. But this next year, definitely, I want to try to get in some new builds. And then I think a lot of people don't understand that we're just not about flipping and renovating homes for people. People have gotten it mixed up that that's all we do, which that's not true. Kaushaun is a licensed realtor, and she can help you sell your house or help you find your next house or maybe your first house. She works a lot with first-time home buyers.
Very good about educating buyers through the process. I'm very committed to making sure all of my clients understand the whole process, and that if they have questions, they know that they can ask.
And educating sellers. I mean, there's a lot of people that have bought their first home and don't quite understand what it's going to take to sell that home when they're ready to move to their next home. That's a whole new process. When you're on the buyer side, you don't get to see whole the seller side.
Can you see how much I talk to real estate to Daniel? Because he's doing my whole spiel for me.
I hate the paperwork. I mean,
I always tell Daniel that he needs to get his own real estate license because he's really good at talking to people.
Hell no. Sorry about my language. No. I would die if I had to sit behind a computer that long.
He might just talk your ear off while showing you houses, though. So, you'd get into the front door and not make it any further.
I try to shut up. When she goes to show a house, if I'm tagging along, if it's a Friday and we're having date night and she's still showing a house to people, which happens all the time, I try to shut up. Doesn't always happen, sorry.
Yep. So, I mean, it's one of those things where we are, very family oriented. So there may be times where I'm showing houses. Daniel may be with me. I may have the kids in the car, that kind of thing. I mean, we're both self-employed, so we just kind of have to go with the flow a lot of times. And, my schedule doesn't always line up with other clients because they have normal working hours. So we kind of just have to make things work as things happen.
We've been to a lot of people's time frames. I mean, it's just the fact of the matter when you're in real estate, whether it's she's showing a house to an investor, maybe on Brookson or something like that, for a potential flip property for that investor. We understand that we're at those people's mercy because they have different schedules than we do. Some of them work 9-to-5 jobs. Some people don't work 9-to-5 jobs, and they are like us, but they have their own set schedules. It just is the fact of the matter. So I wanted to clear that up. She is a realtor. We do list all of our properties unless, like this one, it's already sold.
But we will be having an open house.
Yes, yes. We didn't get an open house with our last one. They were selling their house. They needed into the house right away. We understand that. Thankfully, that's not the case with this one. There will be an open house on this, which is a huge renovation. An addition, foundation problems, everything's happening with this house.
Can you tell how excited Daniel is about it?
He's been one hiccup after next with this house. But I'm used to him now. I just kind of laugh him off. When we first got into this thing, it was like, oh my God, what am I doing?
You know how at HGTV they always run into problems and then have to go back to the client and be like, hey,
we need $10,000 to fix this. We don't have that option.
We are the client that has to be like, hey, we need $10,000 extra more.
Yeah, let's squeeze it out somewhere else.
No, we always
find a way. We find a way to make everything work out. So yeah, we will have an open house with this one. I'm hoping that this one gets done
Springtime.
April-ish, hopefully. No longer than school letting out is. I want this thing to be done. We had a major hiccup with it, but we're pushing.
Yep. Had to tear down a large. Funny story about this house. So I had the county assessor call me the other day because they drove by to make sure that they were assessing the property for what it needed to be, price-wise.
$5?
$5. No, but so they called me and they were like, what's going on with this house? And I was like, what do you mean what's going on with the house? And they said, well, are you tearing it down? And I said, no, we're not tearing it down. We've torn down quite a bit, but what you see is going to stay. And she was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, we're rebuilding it. And she was like, well, good luck with that. And I was like, thank you. She's like, well, we'll have a reassessment for you soon. So I thought that was kind of funny that we're already getting good luck wishes for what we've torn down.
Sure that wasn't sarcastically?
Well, no, she was very serious about it. You could tell she was really concerned about what we were doing with this house. And then, so we had the siding guy. We're starting to subcontract out work. We had the siding guy come, and I talked to him the other day, and he's like, so I pulled up to the house, and I thought it was burnt down. He said he didn't know what he wanted us to do with it because there's pretty much no house left.
I don't see any char marks on this house.
Well, it's, you know, the backside of it looks kind of rough.
It does look, it is rough. Don't let anybody fool you. And no, we don't have an HGTV show yet. Sorry, Cody.
But we do have someone who said that they might be able to put us in touch with someone who can.
No.
I think Daniel might start losing more hair. No. Everyone's told us that we need to, but we're just not there yet. We need more money before we get an HGTV show so we can buy more houses at a time because...
Flipping Otterbein.
Well,
that'll be the show.
So I think it's funny. So that small town show that's on HGTV with the husband and wife.
Okay, sure. I don't know what you're talking about.
So I was looking up their show or where they live. Their town that they flip in is pretty much the size of Lafayette.
Really? That's not a small town.
And that's what they consider their small town flipping.
Let me show them a small town. I can blink through it.
Right. So I was joking with Morgan that we need to take that. We would be called tiny town flippers if that's
micro town flippers.
If that's what they consider small town. So, anyways, but yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's no.
Well, we were talking about getting into tiny houses, so
yeah,
I mean
that's
the theme
a
there
real thing.
could
Tiny
stick.
efficiencies for first-time buyer or first-time renters getting out of their mom and dad's house, and also the people that don't need a big of a house anymore. But that's another game plan. Like I said, we dabble in just about anything: real estate, rentals, investments, buy, sell, flip. What
The
else?
only thing you don't do anymore.
Renovating.
But you don't renovate for other people anymore.
I
So
don't renovate these things.
Well, right, but we get a lot of people asking, like, do we renovate for other people, like,
No, we don't do any more
work?
service work. I'm
So-
sorry. I mean, I've had to let a lot of customers down, and it's not what I intended to do or even what I wanted to do. If I could do their work and do these things, I would be thrilled.
There's just not enough time in the day.
But there's not enough time in the day. I wish there was enough time in the day.
So, but that does... We've been through a lot of subcontractors throughout this whole process, and I think I finally did find a guy that we can start referring out to. So if you do have work that needs to be done, you can still reach out and I can give you that referral.
And if it does work for you, if there's any issues or whatever after the project's done, I don't want to be involved during the project, but, you know, let us know, like, hey, you did a great job, or, yeah, whatever. Because I want to make sure that who we're telling people to go to, he does good work for them. I mean, it's our name on the line, too.
Yep.
So, yep, that's the business side of it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The family side of it, the third page, really, you can put our life into 3 categories.
Yep, just about.
I don't like that. Can I have 4?
What's the 4th going to be? Do we have
Free
time? Good luck with that, because we don't have free time.
Look for that page coming up. I might get it.
Free time with the
And
Klumpies.
when I'm 50 years old.
And what's going to be on it?
Nothing.
Exactly. I'm just going to make a page that's just hanging out there with nothing on it because we don't have free time.
Pretty much.
And your mom even agrees you're never going to retire, so...
No, that's going to happen.
What free time? Okay, so anyways. So family, which is...
So family life. I mean, you know, we... Between the other 2, we like to try to throw in a little bit of family time. We try to balance it all out with this chaotic of a schedule and life. Which a lot of people, I want to bring this up. A lot of people equate chaos to bad. Chaos doesn't need to be bad. Chaos just means that you are so hectic that you don't have any time for yourselves, and that is true a lot of the times. We have a sign in our house actually that says, "Welcome to our beautiful chaos." It reminds us day in and day out that we live a very stressful life. We live a very
chaotic
life.
That's exactly what that sign is.
Of running around trying to get everything done and trying to make sure everybody around us is also happy. I mean, we have a couple employees now, and it is our privilege to have them, but it also is a burden too, where we got to make sure that we're supplying them with their work, and we got to make sure that we're supplying them with enough money to live a happy life. I mean, I don't want to hire people in that, here's $9 an hour, go do all this work for me. So our chaos is chaotic, but it's our beautiful chaos, and we try to balance it between those 3 pages, really. In our family life, we try to keep making sure that we're being fair amongst all of them that we can be. I mean, we have 2 boys, Eli and Carter, if you didn't know. One is 5, one is 6, right?
7.
7, excuse me.
Because he just had a birthday.
That's right, just had a birthday. So we have those 2 boys that are over in the Otterbein Elementary School. But then we're a very outdoorsy family. We get a lot of date nights thanks to her mother. Thank you again, Annetta.
Thanks, Mom.
And it helps us with those date nights balance out our chaos a little bit. Sometimes we use it to talk about work. Sometimes we talk about...
Okay, don't let them fool you. A lot of times it's talking about work.
It's talking about work, but it's our time that we don't have to worry about employees or children. We can focus on whatever we need to focus on. And don't let her kid, a lot of it right now has been the camper.
Yes.
We bought up a camper almost a year ago now. We'll have to do a live
for that one too.
And we've been renovating, basically flipping it for ourselves.
The first thing we've ever flipped for ourselves.
That's another joke. We live in probably the rundown house of Otterbein as well.
It's
because we do up everybody else's house.
It's just got some foundation problems.
Yes, we're tearing it down.
It'll be torn down. So all of our neighbors, I'm sorry that we're not doing anything to our house because it's just going to be torn down next year.
Yeah, our whole foundation was built without mortar.
So let that be a lesson to people when you go and buy a house. Make sure you have your home inspection.
Yep.
Because we were first-time home buyers who did not have a home inspection, buying it off of a family member, and 5 years after buying the house, we go in and find that our floor is just completely buckled. And after digging into it, it's because we had a crawl space we didn't know we had. And
I had no idea we had.
Yeah, we had no idea. It's just random under our bedrooms. And here, you can see it here.
I got it there.
But
yeah, I can see it.
we was washing out our foundation because, like Daniel said earlier,
I had a pool in my house.
We had a pool in our house.
I took out the entire subfloor, and it rained, and literally I couldn't see the bottom because there was a pool in my room. I mean, I could have taken a bath. It was that deep. I mean, it was probably about 24 to 36 inches deep.
Yeah.
Water.
So, just lesson to all of y'all, if you're buying a house, have your home inspection.
Inspection.
And don't let people pull the wool over your eyes because, yeah, it's not pretty. So now we have to build a whole new house on top of having a mortgage that we already have. Yep. So we're thankful for everybody who uses us to buy and sell a house or buys our flip houses.
It's going towards that.
That's what's paying for our new house.
So anyways, back to our family life.
Well, that's part of family life.
Back to work.
Well, it's, real estate related. And we have to live in a house too, right?
Yep. But I mean, we only have a few more minutes left before we have to go pick up our kids. So I wanted to touch a couple seconds on the family life. We go out to my parents' campground, Klumpe Family Campground, and we have our camper out there. We've slowly been renovating the inside. We almost have it done, but that's where a lot of our family time's been. So we're out there working on our camper, and our boys are running amok around the campground, which is they love. They have a little electric Jeep, and they drive around on the sucker. But then we take them to Turkey Run and stuff like that. We love hiking. I mean, we love Colorado.
So when we do have free time, that's what our free time goes towards.
Yep.
It's typically outdoor
vacation to Colorado.
Vacation to Colorado.
I don't care if it's summer, winter, fall, spring. I could go out there on vacation all the time.
Yeah.
So we do try to mix in a lot of family time. Sometimes family time mixes with work. I mean, they'll be at the office while my brother and I are working out at the office. My sons will be. They'll be playing their video games. We'll be working out. We'll be chatting with them and stuff like that. But we really kind of spread ourselves between a lot of different areas, and it's for us a great balance. And I think that's the hardest part of our life, is making sure we stay balanced across the board.
That has been many a conversations of ours.
I can remember many conversations just saying, are we focused too much on family now? Do we need to swing back to business? And we focus too much on business? Do we need to swing back to family? Make sure we're being fair to our kids. That was a big trial, making sure we stay fair.
But that brings us to another good point, that if we can do it, so can you. Right?
Yes.
We never thought that we would be here doing this. I never
thought I'd be doing this. I thought I'd be having a 9-to-5 job, working probably mechanic somewhere. And I did that for 6 to 7 years. I mean.
And so it's funny because we used to have free time then, and we would talk about all of the dreams and everything that we wanted to do. And that's how we got here. They were just dreams,
though. They were. You dream about winning the lottery. You dream about starting a business and everything like that. But yeah, I wish to be all invested right back here. But you dream about these things, and you never really realize that you have the potential to do it. I mean, there are people out there that will take a shot at you if you show them that you're committed to it, you're a hard worker at it. I mean, we got our shot from a complete stranger.
Yep.
Not a family member, not a friend. A complete stranger took his shot on us.
Networking. It works.
It put us where we are now. Without that person, we would not be where we are now. So I want to give a big shout out to him. He knows who he is if he ever sees this video.
I don't think he has Facebook.
No, he doesn't have Facebook. But it's very much you have the resources, you have the know-how. If you don't have either one of those two, go get it. Start your own business if you want to start it. It's not easy. I'm not telling you it's going to be a cakewalk. It's not.
We will be the first ones to tell you it's not.
We'll tell you it's not the first one. I mean, everybody says, oh yeah, the flippers, they do their thing and they always run into problems, which is true. There is problems, but it's the way you work through your problems that solves who you're going to be.
I feel like we could be life coaches with this guy.
I'm not adding that as my 4th tab. It's free time.
Well, you're giving out a lot of good free advice right now. But anyways,
we're here to help people, not make things worse or harder for people.
No. That's the whole reason we're doing what we do. Helping people.
So again, our 3 pages. Kaushaun Daniel Klumpe. You have Klumpe and Company. And then you have Otterbein with the Klumpes. If you want to follow us, I highly suggest you do. I hope in 10 years you won't recognize this town.
So I want to leave off and finish this off because National Bosses Day or whatever was a couple days ago or something.
Okay.
So on Chip and Joe's page there was a quote that someone said, thank you for following the path that was the least followed. So I feel like we're kind of following our own path that is not taken very often. So it's just one of those
only
things.
You will have the path that you were chose to go down.
Yep. But we're happy to be on this path and making our own way. So
get ready, Otterbein.
Thank you guys.